Tell me about your earliest memories of wrestling, maybe when you were a child or in your teenage years. What were your first memories of the sport?
Probably it's going to be something very different because I don't think you ever had a Brazilian wrestling fan in here, but we had wrestling in Brazil. It was called telecatch, tele from TV, television, and catch because that's the old way that is called, right? The wrestling part of that. It was big in Brazil. When I was growing up back in the 90s, it wasn't it was dying already, but we still had some times on TV. So my earliest memory was watching that on TV with my grandma. And my grandma, I already knew what it was. Like it was never real for me or anything like that, but I just loved the characters. I loved them. Like it was a mess, literally. Like everybody jumping and screaming and everything happening at the same time. There's no structure. It was truly a fight. There's like watching right now. There's zero technique in that time, but it was just fight. It was emotion. That's what got me hooked into it. And I remember my grandma's reaction. Like she was really mad, and she knew exactly what it was. But we watch it all the time, and it was just fun.
I wonder, is the Brazilian style, because I don't know much about this, I wonder if it's any different just based off my knowledge that, Brazil comes from a proud culture of jiu-jitsu and sort of technical fighting. I wonder, does any of that have influence on the style of pro wrestling there?
It does not. It does not. So the Brazilian jiu-jitsu thing is something new in
Mm.
Brazil. It's something from the 90s actually, with the bad boys. That's how we should call it, and they got the brand because of that. But no, it's really close to the Latin American style, more like Mexico, but even more like Puerto Rico. So I've been to Puerto Rico to wrestle. It felt like home and people were speaking Spanish. That was the only difference. Because in Mexico it's a little bit more right nowadays, right? It's more aggressive. In Brazil it was more like Puerto Rico, different characters, people having fun, non-stop action all the time. And Mexico has a different structure. But we use masks as well. Sometimes we had different characters like mummy, clowns, all these kind of things. We had all of those.
Do you remember then, obviously you touched on your first memories being of those Brazilian promotions. Do you remember when you first became introduced to the sort of American commercialized pro wrestling?
Yes, I do. That was Nintendo 64, WCW versus NWO Revenge. Uh, that was the first time I say, oh, so there's more about this. It's not just what they were doing on TV. And then at that time, we were starting to have internet. I'm old. I'm 39, and it's from Brazil, so we only started actually having good internet in about 2004. So I'm talking about 98, 97. We have like the dial-up internet connection, and everything that I could do was wait until midnight because it was cheaper from midnight to 6 to download one match. And that was the Attitude Era, right? Stone Cold, The Rock, uh, Kane, all those Triple H. Then that was pretty much every night. I was like holding my sleep until midnight until I can click one match and download it. Hopefully, in the next day, the match was there.
Wow. Or an interesting way to consume the product. So in those early years of discovering the world one match at a time, as you put it there, what were some of the matches that you'd watched at that point that really stood out to you as you were downloading them one by one then?
So my memory is not the best, but I cannot remember matches itself, but I can remember wrestlers and moments, right?
Hmm.
So every time that I had Eddie Guerrero in there, it was something special. Every time that I had Kane or The Undertaker was great. Um, Eddie and Ray,
Hmm.
of course, have to remember that. Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys, like all those matches are the ones that comes to my mind. I don't have any specific that are. The only one that is truly specific that I remember is Eddie and Ray, when he
Hmm.
had like the purple suit. that match is like on my mind. I probably can watch it back again, and I'm gonna have the same feelings all the time. But there's no specific match that I truly remember. I just remember more about the time of the Attitude Era.
And do you remember the point then? Because I think every young lad, especially in my group of friends when they were younger, we loved pro wrestling. We wanted to grow up and be pro wrestlers. But do you remember when you first took the first steps to learning how to wrestle? What was your introduction to the technical side and actually learning the craft?
So we, of course, we did not listen to the advice that they show up. Don't try this at home. We definitely did, and we tried in the most stupid ways, with ladders, with just a mattress on the floor. Wherever we went to the beach, we tried that. But I could not find a place to actually train because it at that time it died in Brazil. Like I'm talking about the 2000s, it died. I barely seen anything. So, of course, never was good on soccer. As a Brazilian, I'm too big for that. So, jiu-jitsu was the route. So, I went to train jiu-jitsu. But then, one of the guys that I used to watch with my grandma, he opened a school. And because of the internet, we got some attention on that. And then me and my brother, we went there and we joined. And I remember the first day that we seen the ring, uh, that was not the smartest thing to do, but the coach allowed us to go there and do whatever we wanted, and we did. And they said, yeah, like, you guys need classes, but you're good coming in. And that was the time that we started. I think I was around 17, 18 at the time, pretty much. It was a little bit late, but it was everything that I could do now.
And what was the learning process like? Because I think a sport like pro wrestling, the learning curve is quite steep. To learn how to do this sport properly. What were you like as a student? Did you take to it quite quickly, or was it tough? What was your experience like learning to wrestle?
So at my time and my stupidity, I thought that I knew everything. And as old as I get, I realize that I don't know, and I'm even more stupid than I thought I was. And that gives me some advantage of not thinking that I know everything. But at the time, I thought I knew everything. So I used to go to the shows with the old timers, and the match was so much different than the WWE. They barely did any moves, and I was like, "What? Why? Like, why they're not doing like power bombs or this, and that?" There's almost like nothing. It's just they keep talking to the crowd and all of that. And I really thought that wrestling was all about moves. That's what I thought. So I really thought that it was good because I was doing moves that the old timers was not doing. I really thought that I was the best. But that only got me to injuries, to having poor matches that people barely got into it. And later, I only find out that my coach back in the time really knew about wrestling when I got to the WWE, because I literally started to understand, because um, my ego did not allow me at that time to settle down and, hey, let me listen to a guy that was literally born, like his dad was a wrestler. He's been a wrestler his whole life. And I at that time, I did not understand that. And I still believe that I knew more than him. But right now, like, I understand that. So my learning curve was bad because of that. I did not allow myself to actually learn and listen. It took me way too long. That was my mistake on that.
Well, there's one thing learning in the ring, going to wrestling school, having lessons. There's another when you have your first match. Do you remember your first ever wrestling match, or how many people it was in front of? I'm assuming it was in Brazil, right? And what are your memories of that first ever match? And what was our experience like handling those nerves? I bet it's quite a nervous thing to do.
Yeah, my first match, I think if we had like 12 people, it was too much. Uh, I don't, it, so right now in Brazil it's better. It's more structured. Every time that I go there, like there's at least 300 people in. So it's pretty cool, pretty cool. But back in the day, we were doing, fairs, or like what people did not went to see a wrestling show. There was a wrestling show happening nearby. They would stop and watch it. And I did not knew anything about wrestling. I thought that I knew. So my matches were terrible. was not good at all. Like I watched someone that back in the day, and I said, my God, there's nothing with it. In the I truly understood a little bit more when I only got here. That was my biggest thing, and I could learn because like Bob Jr., which is the main guy at Brazilian Wrestling Federation, he knows a lot. Like he was literally born like his dad was the one of the top guys. He was the top guy as well. Like there's nobody in Brazil that knows more than this guy, and I could learn so much with him. And every time that I get back, I talk to him. Hey, I'm sorry. So yeah, I know that I was like this as well.
Amazing. Well, going from there then, how did you end up getting on the radar of the performance team in WWE? How did you get on their radar? How did they sort of learn about you?
Got it. So, uh, during the wrestling training, I made a transition to play American football in Brazil. Pretty much impossible to do both being an amateur because I had to go to school, I had to work 8 hours a day and go to school at night, and then weekends was practice or matches or games. So I went to the route of football because I was better. I was so much better in football. There was no competition because me and my brother, we used to compete a lot, and he was always better than me, always, all the time. And I did not like to be compared to him. I did not have the mindset of growth. I really thought that this made me worse. So I went to football, and I got pretty good, and my brother did not win. Then I focused on football for like 7, 8 years. And then a few years later, Bob Jr., he saw me like, and my physique has changed, my mind has changed as well. And he said, hey, WWE is coming in to Brazil. They want to expand. They need big guys. I don't have any. Do you want to come back? And then we get you back in the track, and then we see how it goes. I truly did not believe it. Like it is truly impossible. Like how is the WWE coming in and looking for a big guy in Brazil that nobody knows what wrestling is? He probably just want me back in his team so I can wrestle for free. That was my mind right there at the time. And then I just say no for two reasons. One, I did not believe it. Second, it was the day of my wedding. I was literally getting married that day. So I truly ignored, like, I don't even care. So next day, I'm on honeymoon, and I open Facebook at the time. We better have Instagram. And then I see William Regal and Bob Jr. together. And I was off. And I always wanted to move to the United States. Like I even tried to get visa before. It was denied. I really wanted. And then I just call him, say, hey, how was it? Like, yeah, it was good, but they did not like anyone. They still want to see you. I said, yeah, when they're coming back? They're coming back in 3 months. I just called my head coach on football. I said, hey, don't count for me for the nationals. And I was captain of the team because I have to focus on this other thing right here. It's the only opportunity that I'm gonna have. And during these 3 months, train really hard, got a tryout, and still here.
And when you were sort of taken in that into the performance center with that group of recruits, who were some of your peers that were sort of taken in to the sort of performance center at that time?
At that time, Steve Cutler, Steve Macklin, TNA. There's so many though. Bo James, Corey Weston, Sire Fulton, Madman Fulton, Noah Kekoa. That is I forgot what his name. Connor Reeves. That was his name back in the day. Which, believe it or not, right now we are wrestling for the same company every 3 months in Boca Raton, and it feels so good because it's just the good old times from the NXT. Those are the guys that like I'm still talking to them regularly. But back in the day, like it was a different time, right? We the performance center was new as well, so everybody was learning, even the coaches.
So when you made your TV debut, I believe was against Aleister Black. What are your memories of that match? Your mindset going into the match, and ultimately, were you happy with that performance at the time?
Yeah, I think that truly was one of my best matches for several reasons, right? One, at that time, my mindset, I told you already, my mindset was not the same. I was truly worried about what people thought about me. So back in Brazil, people hated me because I came here and other people did not, right? They thought that I was not good because I was there for 6 months and I was not champion yet. They truly believed that I was going to come here and then and I believed that as well. But I got a lot of hate on that side, and my attention was truly on people that was talking trash about me. And a lot of people said that I was never gonna have a TV match ever, ever. Like I was going to fail. That was not made for this. It's not for me. That I just got lucky. So it was very emotional for me to actually get there and had a match, and it was a pretty good match. Um, Tom Aleister is like I'm really close to him yet still, and it was pretty good match as well. Learned a lot with him. He enjoyed the match as well. He was truly pleased because he needed a match like that at that time in his career and delivered everything. And a fun fact is that as soon as I left that, I was crying, and literally it's been I don't know 12 years that I did not shed a tear. Like probably the last time that I cried was when my dad passed away. But after that, like I truly couldn't hold because I finally did something that I thought that I said that I would do it, and people was like truly against me. But as soon as I come out, like one of my coaches, he comes out and he's like looking like this to me. I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Yeah, you're about to get fired tomorrow. I just cannot fire you anymore. The job that you did right there, that was exceptional. Like there's no way that I can fire you. You just save your job." And then I cry even more.
Wow. So that performance saved your career at that point.
Yes, it did.
Wow. I think that speaks to how volatile the wrestling business is. I think as fans, people watching on, I don't think we appreciate the highs and lows of wrestling. And, you see someone on TV and you assume, their life is great, their career is in a great place, but going on behind the scenes, I suppose you're only one match away from it all being taken away.
And you never know. And you never know. Sometimes you can know, but I was definitely not expecting at all. At all, at all, at all. And it's tough, man. Like it truly, fans think that is easy. I was definitely not making money at the time. So many, it was a tough transition from coming to Brazil and here. So my English was not the best. They did not have they did not knew how to actually take care of people that was trying to understand the language and understand wrestling. So I was getting badly mistreated in the PC. Then I'll get home. My wife was depressed because she doesn't know anyone. She doesn't speak the language. Some Fridays I did not eat food at all because I could not afford food. I just left food for her. So I was getting paid on Saturday. So Saturday was the day that I was going groceries. Sometimes we did not have food for 1-2 days in the week. Nobody knows this, right? Probably this is the first time they're ever saying this. But and then we're getting people talking trash. All your job is to do like a 5 minutes match, and they really thought about this, and I was like training for 6-7 hours in the ring. My neck was banged up. Then I get home, I had to deal with my family as well. It's people think that a wrestler life is easy. It is not. I think that's the reason why that my business is doing so good right now is because I dealt with so many different schedules and challenges overall, emotionally, financially, timely, all that right now, like I can figure it out how to help people in every situation because I literally been on the worst and I was pretty successful coming out of that. And I get this 100% to the things that I learned throughout this whole process on figured it out one thing that I can be successful and rely on that. And for me, it was my fitness. Like I truly could hold on my fitness. Going through all of this, I hold tight on that. And if I can be successful in this while all of that, I can be successful anywhere. And this is what I try to I'm actually doing, not just trying. I am bringing into my clients as well, and we are being successful, not on just their fitness, but everything else.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a sport of sacrifice, I suppose. Like, you and risk. You took a risk. You made the sacrifice of up and moving your life to another country. There's the physical sacrifice you talked about there. Going without food, but there's also the emotional sacrifice of how this affects your family. And I suppose in a sport like this, where opportunity comes few and far between early on in your career, you have to take what's given to you. I suppose you'd have to be willing to miss birthdays or special occasions and just to get the slightest bit of an opportunity. So I don't think people appreciate the sacrifice that goes into try and making a career in this sport.
Yeah, then when people are relaxing, we are working, right? We
Mm.
are making sure that your relaxation is worth it. And people don't take that. And also, they truly think that it's just a match. Like, we are traveling 3, 4 times a week without the house. We're sleeping in hotel beds. We're driving. We're eating outside. Like, if a wrestler can do it, anybody can do it, right?
Yeah. And one accolade of yours, I think, in NXT, I think it was 2017, you won Future Star of NXT. What are the qualities you think they saw and appreciated in you at that time in your career?
They did not saw anything because they did not like it. They did not like the results. They were not expecting me to win. And that's why they changed for the next year. They did not make open voting anymore. It was
Wow.
open voting, so the Brazilians were insane. They were voting. They were voting 24 hours nonstop. Like the second, the third, and the fourth place together did not got the same votes as I
Wow.
did. And they got really mad. To the point that they put me on a match and they buried me even more. They made me look really bad on the match because I did not like their results. This is one thing, they like to control everything. So when something goes off their control, they figured it out a way to make it worse. So the WWE did not saw anything at the time. It was truly the Brazilian fans.
Yeah, that's interesting because if there was open voting and there was such a big wave of support around you, like you said, people were, voting or voting, and you said there was such a gap between you and second place. There was obviously a real desire in that market for someone to fly the flag for their people on the big stage. I'm confused why they wouldn't want to lean into that. Why do you think that they didn't take that opportunity when the market was showing that there is a demand for it?
So, do you want an answer market wise or do they want wrestling wise?
Hmm. Give me both.
Okay, market wise, Brazil's money currency is bad. Okay, if you have to go to Brazil to make a show, very expensive. Brazil is a huge country. You can only go to 2 cities. So it's going to be really tough for people all around to Brazil to travel to these places and actually afford it. And if they can afford it, it's not going to be a very big revenue because, of course, the company is American. They want to make money in dollars. And comparing to Brazilian currency, right now it's like 5 by 5, right? So it's literally like it's not a good money. They had to spend so much money to get just a little bit of actually profit on that. That is the business side, okay? That is and I 100% agree. I will do exactly the same. Secondly, the wrestling wise, the wrestling business itself likes control. So if something's out of control, that they don't want that kind of thing, that they want everything in their hands and they think that something is slipping in their hands, they do something to change it. That's something that wrestling is everywhere, okay? Not just WWE, everywhere, even on the small indies. It's like that, okay? And it is what it is. We have to accept it.
You've experienced being in both big company environments, and you touched on there about, say, the WWE and their approach to, wanting control. Having spent time in AEW as well, was there any difference in the type of the environment, or did they both tend to have similarities in the way they approach booking and talent?
There is similarities, but also there are differences, right? I can tell you by the time that I was there, WWE is so much more. It was back in the day when I was there, so much more control than AEW when I was there. They allow me to do more, but I also learned all the mistakes that I did in WWE, and I did that in AEW. Okay, so there's this two thing. Like I was not the same guy in the WWE and AEW. I had a different mindset. I knew all the things that I did wrong, so I did not make the same mistakes right here. But also they gave me more opportunity. They allow me to try better. It's one thing that in the WWE that I feel they did not allow me to fail. Like I wanted that's my motto. I want to do things and fail so I can learn. All the things that I wanted to do, I was never allowed to do for several probably because they did not trust me. Okay, and it's okay. It's understandable. Right here, nobody knew me and they trust me on doing some things, and I try. And did it work? I don't think so, because if it did, I was probably going to be champion, but I'm not. So probably did not work, but at least I could do the things that I wanted to do. So I fail. And I'm, in the WWE, feels like I was not allowed for myself to fail. For me, this is the two different things, but also there's this aspect that I was a different man as well. I had a different mindset on these both places.
Yeah, I think as well, one observation people make about the difference between the two companies, and I suppose it's all part of where they are positioned and the marketing and everything behind it. But one thing with AEW that seems to be apparent is talent seem to be able to take more risks, be more authentically themselves. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
Yes, but I also not sure if it's a good thing. Okay, because there's a thin line right there in the middle, right? When you allow people to do whatever they want, they can do whatever they want. That's dangerous. But also, if you control them too much, you're not going to allow them to be themselves. So, my vision is like they have to make a little bit more. One place, like they allow people to do whatever they want. The other, they don't allow at all. And this gap is too big, in my opinion. So this why we have everybody that watches is going to be so many different things between AEW and WWE because of that. There are some good things about allowing to do whatever you want. There are some good things about controlling. There are some bad things allowing you to do whatever you want. There are some bad things about controlling. So that is my personal view of the business right now. That truly, at the end of the day, this view that I have does not matter at all. We still can enjoy wrestling. We still can enjoy AEW and WWE at the same time. I may like one product better than the other, but I still can enjoy both. What I just don't like is this is trash, this is good, or this is good, this is trash. I don't believe so. I believe there's just different ways to do business that people can like it whatever they want. And that's the beauty of having these two big companies right now. Because back in the day, when I was watching wrestling, of course we had TNA, but it was not the same thing.
No, I absolutely agree. I was looking at some statistics of your career on the Cage Match website earlier, and it says you've had 265 career matches, according to their statistics. What are the ones that stand out to you, that you're most proud of?
Aleister Black, NXT, Joey Janela, GCW, and Jon Moxley, Dynamite.
What was it about those guys that you enjoyed working with so much? Were they easy to work with, or did you just have a good chemistry, do you think?
They respect me. They allow me to do things. We put an actual match together instead of just being something, hey, let me just beat you. They respect my size, which I think is something, it's not for me, but it's for people to watch, right? Even like with Aleister Black, he's smaller than me, but he still put things in places respecting my size so I could do things and he could look better and I could look good as well. Because he had this understanding, if I just beat this guy at once, nothing gonna matter, right? So let's do something right here. Same thing with Joey Janela. Like it wasn't a place that people hated me. At the end of the match, everybody was clapping. because he understands that crowd that I did not understand that good, but he understands what they need to see, right? Like how can I put something together? And then we both put ideas together, and we made a good show. We danced together. It was not like, hey, I'm here, you're here. Like, it was like, hey, let's put it right here, and then let's make it a match. Same thing with Mox. He was literally number one on the 500 list at that year, and he went toe to toe with me. And the way that we put the match together, by the end, he was like, "Man, thank you." He was literally saying thank you to me because you made me look good. That's it. And that was my job. My job was to make him look good, and I still look good, but I made him look even better. So the thing that I get in my mind is not that was what I did on the match to look like. What did we got out of the match? Did people enjoy at the end? Yes. Boom. That's what I needed. Like, it's not me. It's not the other guy. At the end of the match, did people believe on the match? Yes. Did people enjoy? Yes. That's it. In these 3 matches, as soon as I came out, I was like, okay, people believe that. And that was it. And that's my thing. I want to, if you watch a little bit of my matches, I know that I'm not the best wrestler right there, but I sell pretty good. I think that my selling is believable to the point that everybody thought that at those matches, everybody thought that was knocked out from Black Mass. Everybody believed that Mox put me to sleep. They truly believe. And with Joey, everybody believed that, like, literally I broke him. Because I at some point I truly did, and that's what I want. Like, I want something in the match that people be, oh, that was real. Because right now, this is what we have to do for wrestling: is break the belief. Yeah. And these 3 matches, I think that me and whoever I was working with, we did that.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, because I watched the, before we jumped on the call, I watched the Aleister Black match and the Moxley. And one thing I will say is I was going to pick up on your selling, and especially with Aleister Black, who has a martial arts background and his style involves a lot of strikes that sort of mimic martial arts. Do you think your ability to make those look real comes from your experience with martial arts and the background you've had there?
100%. 100%. I seen it. I've been there. I never been knocked out, but I seen people getting knocked out. Yeah. I've been put to sleep many times on jiu-jitsu, so I know how it looks. I know how it feels. And this is the one thing that every time that I want to match, and sometimes some coaches in the WWE did not like it because it's not like wrestling selling, but I want to make it look real. Like, if you watch, like when I take the black mask, my head go first, and then I fall down. I don't put I don't take a back bump, because actually my neck turns, so my body's going. I literally fall down right here. I'm not moving. He had to move me to pin me. Like, I'm down. Same thing with Mox. Like, I'm trying to get his hand right here. I'm not like doing this. And I'm literally squeezing my head until my veins pops up, and then I just collapse. And when I wake up, if you keep watching that, when I wake up, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, what's going on? Because I've been there. I know that. And this is something that I still use on my matches, right? My selling is different. Maybe people that only watch wrestling is not going to figure it out. But this is, like, I always try to make it as believable as it can be. Like, I never no sell. Only for like a chop in the chest. Yeah, I'll no sell that, because for a guy my size, that's going to be disrespect. But if somebody punched me in the face, I'm not no selling. Like, it sucks. If somebody, and this is one issue that we have in wrestling right now. There's so many people getting dead that never got punched in the face. They don't know how it feels, and they just don't sell, or they sell too much, right? There are levels of selling, and this is something that I had good classes in the WWE. Really good class about levels of selling. And it's something that I do pretty good, that I'm proud, is my selling.
Yeah, I think all the best moments in wrestling come from those moments where you aren't quite sure whether, something is real or not, or you kind of enjoy that and that sort of area of not that ambiguity, not knowing. I mean, look at some of the standout moments in recent times, like that whole Seth Rollins fake injury where everyone, believed he wasn't. And it's that produces the best moments. And I think having that authenticity in the way you approach selling, I think is a really good thing. And Stone Cold even recently said in an interview where he was asked what his advice would be to up and coming wrestlers, he said, just focus on learning to sell. That's the main thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's a name for that, selling, because this is what sells.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not the moves, it's the way you take the moves, the way you react. All of that is selling. It's just a reaction to whatever it is. And unfortunately, most of the people, they don't know, most of the wrestlers that I see nowadays, and I coach a lot of indie wrestlers as well, and sometimes I watch their matches, they get punched in the face several different times. It's always the same thing. Like getting punched in the face one time is one thing. When you get punched the fifth time, man, you're messed up already. Like your jaw it sucks. It's understanding those small things that we get the seasoning in the match that unfortunately is something that is missing. It is missing everywhere. Even in the WWE and the AEW, we see that a lot.
Speaking of good advice then, over the course of your career, who have been some of your favorite or best mentors that have given you the best advice or helped you the most throughout your career?
Oof. I'm going to start from the end of my career to the beginning. So one of the best that I had, Billy Gunn, because of size and all of that. Sean Spears, absolutely. That guy's fantastic. Who else? JD Drake. This guy knows a lot. Pretty good. Then coming back, I'm just going to throw these three names right there, so I don't want to make the list too long. Terry Taylor, Matt Bloom, and who else? I don't think anyone gonna come in mind right now, but mostly in the WWE was Terry Taylor and Matt Bloom.
Amazing. Now, we've touched on it a little bit, but you've worked with so many pro wrestlers on their physiques and their fitness, and fitness is obviously such a big part of your life. I wonder, from a pro wrestling standpoint, what do you think are the components that make for a good pro wrestling physique or level of fitness?
There's two things, right? It's a static business, so you have to look apart. But there was guys that are not in shape. Yes, two, one in each company. And I'm pretty sure that you cannot talk like them. You cannot talk like Eddie Kingston. You cannot talk like Kevin Owens. They are different. Nobody can. They're very different. Oh, but they are out of shape and they're still dead. Yes, but they're the only one. Everyone else is in absolutely good shape. Some are bigger, some are smaller, still everybody. Talking even more about the WWE. I've been to NXT shows a few times. It's right here around the corner, so I go there. There's so many new young people right there. Absolutely insane physique. That's the biggest issue that I see in the wrestlers. They don't focus on that. They believe that their love for wrestling is enough because they train a lot, because they pay the dues. It's not. People have to look apart. Okay, so it is an aesthetic business, and you have to look apart. You have to look like a proper fighter, a proper athlete. Okay, even though that wrestling is not a sport because it's not a competition, still it's very physical and it needs athleticism. Secondly, is the athleticism itself. When I get in the ring, I am allowing the other guy to control my body. So he can hurt me if he wants. Now, accidents may happen, but if you're not prepared, those accidents can happen more often. So you're truly not getting stronger. You're not working your cardio. You're putting yourself and others in danger. And you're not going to do good. Oh, but I can throw a good punch. Yeah, but can you hold someone after 12 minutes of running, and then you can place them on their back safely. That's the difference, right? And that's what the fitness is. And this is something that is taken pretty serious with people that are on top, and people that want to get there, they just don't take it serious. They ignore it. And they ask themselves, why I cannot go there? Because the most important thing, the only one that you have 100% control, you're ignoring, which is the way you look, the way you perform, the way your fitness is. So training is as important as developing your character or anything else. And I know, because I got there because of the way I look. And I know I coach guys that are 2 years in the business that work better than I do right now, but I still got hired. So it's as important, and people really put down below, like, oh, it's not that important, but it is. It's to the point that WWE always say, like, for many years, it decided to hire only athletes instead of wrestlers because of that. And your hard work on fitness is going to allow you to get better in wrestling. You can be coached so much better as well. I truly wish that people in the indies take this more serious.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think a physique can really take someone to the next level, because I'm not saying these guys aren't talented in their own right, but like, if you look at some of the biggest stars who rise the fastest in this sport over the years, someone who comes from nothing to something so fast, like a Brock Lesnar, or I mean recently an Oba Femi, who has such a striking physique, you don't really care about his ability. You just think, wow, like, it's so believable. It's such character in his physique.
As soon as he come out, you know that this guy's legit.
Yeah.
Okay, you know it already. And then when people believe on the first time you look someone, you have your opinion already. Now, when you look at him, you know, okay, this guy's going to get there. And then he's going to be coached really good about people teaching him how to do things. And then he delivered that in the ring. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm hooked. And then a lot of people told me, yeah, Oba Femi is not in shape. Like, have you seen this guy's legs? It's like a log. And yeah, he has some more body fat, but he is in shape. He can run, he can do everything, he can throw people safely, and he looks phenomenal. That's the thing that people believe, that everybody has to be like freaking shredded. No, and it should not. That's the beauty about wrestling. We have guys like him. We have guys like Leon Ruff that is really small, but is good in shape and can do so many different things. That's the beauty about wrestling. But both are in phenomenal shape.
Yeah, I mean, just as you said, you know, you're gonna have people of all different statures, but like an Oba Femi who has such a, like a sort of dominating, scary physique. But then you have someone, you know, maybe smaller, like a Finn Balor, whose physique is just absolutely dialed in and shredded. And I think MJF recently in an interview was talking about this, in that he was at a certain level. And, you know, he was in good shape, but he didn't take it as seriously. And he knew that the next thing he had to do to become the superstar, the top guy, was to go away and dial in his training, dial in his nutrition. And he said just focusing on the aesthetics just took him to a whole new level.
Yeah, and he does. And you can see, like, he's really good. He got everything. And right now, he looks phenomenal. He looks better than most of the guys on TV right now. Mm-hmm. But as you can see, that he's so good that people don't even take him as a body guy. But he still is. And he put the work, because I seen, like, when I met him, he was not in good shape. And that's the thing as well. I see a lot of people that are on TV as well, and they look for my help. And sometimes they don't put the same effort as somebody like MJF is doing. And you can see the results, right? You can see the results. It is the only thing that we have full control in this business. It's the way we look. We have full control on that. And there are ways to make it happen. I truly wish that people took it more serious, because it's going to help everybody on their careers.
Just before we start to wrap up and we let everyone know where they can find out more about your work and potentially work with you, we talked a little bit about physiques now at the back end of this conversation. I wonder, for you, when you look over the history of wrestling, what are some of the all-time effective or great physiques in the world of pro wrestling that stand out to you? Not necessarily in terms of someone's size, but like we talked about, how effective that can play into their character. What are some of the best physiques in pro wrestling?
Man, I'm from the Attitude Era, right? So everything we had right there was big traps and big arms.
Yeah.
So at that time, what we had Triple H, we had Batista, we had Eddie Guerrero,
Mm.
insane, right? Really good shape right there. Rock, Stone Cold, Kane at the time was insane. There was some point a Big Show was pretty good as well at the time. Those are the physiques that I like size more because it's who I am, right? And every time that I think about like a proper wrestler physique, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like not even like a shredded abs, but like at least the belly has to be flat, big chest, big traps, and big arms. This is all we need, and this is so easy to achieve, to be honest. Because it's just that it reminds me the good times when I learned about wrestling, right? Those are the guys that I look up to, and I want to be like. Randy Orton was like, this is the best physique ever, still. Like, and the insane things that he's been around for over 2 decades, still looks freaking insane and better than most of the guys. And when I started, that's the guy that I look up, and I want to be like him. Like, I want to look like him. And if he like on his 40s, he still can do it. Everybody can do it. Everybody.
Amazing. Well, just before we wind up, let's have it up. What are you current outside of the work with the personal training, which we'll of course let everyone know about? What's currently going on right now in Cezar's life? I saw a title on the desk behind you. How often are you wrestling at the moment?
So I'm wrestling pretty much every 3 months at Boca Raton Champion Wrestling. It's the only place that I'm actually going for. I'm not looking to get bookings at all. But right there, it's just my friends. It's close. It's a good environment. I know everyone that are going to be wrestling, so it's safe for me. I can take my family with me as well. Not saying that I'm not taking any bookings, but I'm not looking for. And also, I'm going to be very picky of whoever people offer me. Like, I'm not flying 5-6 hours to wrestle a place and get paid $200. I'm not gonna do this for 2 reasons. One, I'm banged up to fly. I hate flying. I'm too big for that. It's too many injuries. I don't like it. Secondly, I can make so much more money if I focus on my 2 businesses instead of that. Now, this title right here is because every year I run a contest, and the best transformation in 3 months get this. This year they're getting $3,000 as well, and I am flying to deliver everywhere in the world. Right? There's one guy in Luxembourg that is running, and I hope he wins because I definitely want to go there, deliver this title to him and the $3,000 as well. But I have this other title right here that I am currently holding, Boca Raton Championship Tag Team title. Me and Noah Kekoa, like my brother, my Us. And that's what I'm doing with wrestling right now, and focusing on coaching my clients, that everybody's being pretty successful and I'm having a blast, and other businesses that I'm running as well.
Amazing. Well, let's let everyone know. I mean, that was quite exciting. You're giving away titles and everything. If anyone's listening, watching now, they may have seen your adverts, but I get your adverts on Instagram all the time. So you're doing a really good job marketing wise. If anyone wants to, check out your stuff and how they may be able to work with you, how would they reach out?
Just reach out to me on Instagram. I take all the DMs. I literally spend 4 hours in the day on the DMs talking to people to see whatever they need. Because sometimes people don't reach out, but who knows if I can help out as well. That's the way that we do things. Everything that I do is one-on-one, build everything customized to each individual, and we allow them to understand how they can keep everything that they learn so they can turn into a lifestyle and make it as easy as possible. That's my thing. If somebody wants to reach out, DM me on Instagram. That's the fastest and easiest way. Now that you see me right here, and then we can definitely discuss and go forward. 85% of my clients are regular people, not wrestlers, okay? And believe it or not, those are the ones that I like to work the most, because wrestlers sometimes they're so busy they don't reply, and I want to create a relationship. Me and my coaches, we want to create a relationship to make sure that we get everything in place. We have a pretty beautiful community with fans and wrestlers as well, because I separate those two different kinds of clientele. And it's been pretty awesome, man. For the last 3-4 years, I think that we helped over 1,500 people already. And to lose the weight, we did a calculation from top. It's like around 30,000 pounds lost already in the last 4 years.
Amazing. Well, sounds like a really fulfilling way to live your life. So super happy for you. And I will leave the links below to your Instagram and so everyone, listen, watching, they can get in touch. But Cezar, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure, man. I'm a big fan of yours. So support everything you do. And I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Elias. I appreciate your time as well. Hope you have a great week.